Tonight on NewsWatch, communities ravaged by deadly tornadoes. Where the storms are likely heading next.
Plus, the end of Middle East peace talks. It's deadline day for negotiations. What that means for the peace process.
And how celebrating George Washington is bringing together faith and politics. All this and more tonight on NewsWatch. Good evening. I'm Mark Martin.
And I'm Lori Johnson. From Michigan to the Atlantic coast, more than 75 million Americans are in the path of severe weather tonight.
It's just the latest from a system that has caused chaos in the Midwest and South, spawning tornadoes and killing more than 30 people in just 2 days. John Waggy has more in tonight's top story.
Throughout the South, the ominous presence of funnel clouds kept an entire region on guard. In Tupelo, Mississippi, a tornado struck downtown.
I was in the backyard watching the weather, seeing the funnel clouds and everything else, seeing everything just hitting the fan more or less, you know what I'm saying?
We were sitting there about to get ready to eat dinner, and the lights started going off, and then I started hearing that train sound everybody's talking about.
The hardest hit areas so far, Mississippi and Arkansas.
I feel sorry for the people that lost their lives. I feel very sorry for my neighbors. That breaks my heart. Those houses completely gone.
Authorities say the death toll could have been worse, but people took shelter and paid attention to their cell phone alerts.
We got alerts 20 minutes before it happened that we needed to do something, but being stubborn and bullheaded, I didn't react until 5 minutes before it happened.
Tim Lee was huddled in his home with his family when he realized the front door was open. As he went to close it, he witnessed the powerful tornado that would carve out an 80-mile path of destruction through suburban Little Rock.
You saw nothing but chaos, stuff being thrown across the yard, just wild. And I locked the door, ran back to the bathroom, and then it was like a roaring freight train for 20 or 30 seconds. And then after that, it was calm.
A tornado also struck nearby Valonia, ripping this bell from the local Methodist church and tossing it 75 yards.
A steel girder encrusted in cement that was completely ripped out of the ground and twisted.
Forecasters say the violent weather isn't over yet. It's expected to threaten lives in central, southern, and mid-Atlantic states between now and Thursday. John Waggy, CBN News.
And for more on where the most severe weather will be seen tonight and tomorrow, we turn now to AccuWeather's Molly Cochran.
Severe weather expected on this Tuesday evening across portions of Mississippi and Alabama. Also the potential for some stronger thunderstorms in Cincinnati. These thunderstorms capable of producing damaging winds, tornadoes, and large hail. On Wednesday, the severe weather threat going to shift eastward, impacting Charlotte, Pittsburgh, the nation's capital. The greatest risk for some isolated tornadoes going to extend from Virginia down towards South Carolina. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, also we will have this cold front sweeping across the nation. Cooler conditions behind this and out ahead of this. This is where we are expected to see the stronger thunderstorms as warm, humid air is meeting up with the cooler air. Damaging winds, potential for some large hail, and also some flooding to talk about. Very heavy rain spreading across the northeast by Wednesday as that low pressure system kind of just stalls out, sitting across the northeast throughout the daytime. Drenching thunderstorms expected in Pittsburgh, also potentially in Washington, D.C. Also some very heavy rainfall could lead to some flooding, anywhere between 4 to 6 inches from Washington, D.C. down towards South Carolina.
Secretary of State John Kerry is backing off his remarks that Israel could become a, quote, apartheid state if it doesn't reach a peace deal with the Palestinians. Kerry's remarks were first reported by the Daily Beast website. Although Kerry says he chose the wrong word, he did not apologize for the comment, but he says he is committed to Israel. Meanwhile, a crucial deadline on conditions to continue peace talks expires today.
Now, after 20 years of unsuccessful talks, Israeli officials say it's time to discontinue negotiations considering a two-state solution with the Palestinians.
Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem.
The Israeli government continues to assess the latest collapse of negotiations with the Palestinians. Israel suspended its participation after Palestinian Authority Chairman Abu Mazen agreed to a unity government with the Hamas terrorist organization.
One thing is clear, by their activity on the ideological level, Abu Mazen says very clearly to us in Israel, I have no intention to have real peace with you.
Brigadier General Yossi Kupavasser of the Ministry of Strategic Affairs told CBN News both groups share the same core values, hating Jews and believing Israel will disappear.
The message is very clear for us. I prefer unity with Hamas than having to contend with the challenge of accepting Israel as a Jewish state.
The U.S. expressed disappointment at the sudden Fatah-Hamas deal. Still, Secretary of State John Kerry warned Israel of dire consequences if it didn't reach an agreement with the Palestinians. But one Israeli minister said this is a new beginning.
An era has ended and a new era has begun. The era of Oslo is at its end. The new era I would call the era of realism.
Economy Minister Naftali Bennett told foreign journalists that the two sides need to learn to coexist.
What I think we need to do is be realistic about what we can achieve, massively invest in infrastructure, in economy, in the quality of lives, in self-governance of the Palestinians.
Bennett said Israel should apply its law to the Israeli-controlled part of the West Bank or Judea and Samaria. Under Bennett's plan, Israel would also offer full citizenship to the 100,000 Palestinians living there. It stopped short of a Palestinian state in the rest of the West Bank, where many more Palestinians live, because Bennett says Israel needs to have full security control.
When you have overriding control of security, it means that you can use tweezers to stop terror instead of a hammer.
This isn't the first time peace talks have been deadlocked, but some say this presents an opportunity. Just how this works out on the ground remains to be seen. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
And for more exclusive reporting from Israel, make sure you check out Chris's blog and weekly show, Jerusalem Dateline, and you'll find both at our website, cbnnews.com.
President Obama is wrapping up his four-nation Asian tour today. An aim of his visit, emphasizing U.S. commitment to allies in the region, including the Philippines. Lucille Talusan has more from Manila.
It is here in the Malacañang Palace where U.S. President Barack Obama paid his official visit to Philippine President Benigno Aquino III. Both world leaders described the visit as historic, as the meetings focused on modernizing and enhancing trade, defense, and cultural ties between the two countries.
But the highlight was the signing of a 10-year enhanced defense cooperation agreement that aims to strengthen the mutual defense treaty between the Philippines and the United States. Revisions to the 62-year-old pact allow more American troops to use selected Philippine bases. The agreement is designed to counter Chinese aggression over disputed territories in the South China Sea that are rich in oil, gas, and marine resources. Obama and Aquino stressed that the pact was not a direct challenge to China. Both countries consider China a key partner in upholding international law, which is necessary in bringing progress to the region.
China, as a large country, has already asserted that it is interested in abiding by international law. Really our message to China consistently on a whole range of issues is we want to be a partner with you in upholding international law. In fact, larger countries have a greater responsibility.
The Philippines-U.S. Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement takes our security cooperation to a higher level of engagement, reaffirms our country's commitment to mutual defense and security, and promotes regional peace and stability.
Angry left-wing activists think otherwise.
These protesters are saying no to the greater access that's been given to the U.S. troops in the Philippine bases because they believe that this will only drag the Philippines into war with China.
But President Obama suggests war may actually be averted through the strengthening of an old alliance.
Our commitment to defend the Philippines is ironclad, and the United States will keep that commitment because allies never stand alone.
Lucille Talusan, CBN News, Manila.
The president is returning home from Asia to his lowest approval rating since taking office. Mr. Obama's approval fell to 41% this month, causing some Democrats to worry about the president's impact on upcoming midterm elections. According to a new Washington Post ABC News poll, a majority of voters want a Republican Congress to help keep the president's agenda in check.
The NBA is banning Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling for life. Today's announcement from the NBA commissioner comes after an audio recording surfaced. It's reportedly of Sterling making racist remarks in a phone call with his girlfriend, including telling her he did not want her to bring black people to Clippers games. The recording sparked outrage from current and former NBA players and fans.
This has been a painful moment for all members of the NBA family. I appreciate the support and understanding of our players during this process.
In addition to the lifetime ban, the NBA is fining Sterling $2.5 million, and that money will be donated to anti-discrimination charities.
Coming up, a look at what it's like to live in Ukraine as the country faces possible civil war.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hey, kids, do you love games? And do you love discovering things? Well, do ya?
Then you're gonna love this. It's the new free Superbook Kids Bible app. You can play games, watch videos, find answers to your questions, and a whole lot more. The new Superbook Kids Bible app. Free downloads available on iTunes and Google Play now.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You could qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Get free delivery, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers at no charge to you. If you are on Medicare and have knee pain, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost. Friendly agents are standing by 24/7 to help you. Call the Health Hotline right now for details toll-free. Our friendly representatives are standing by now to take your call. We also have other pain-relieving braces available for shoulder, ankle, and your back. You may be eligible to receive these items and more at little or no cost to you as well. Call right now for details toll-free.
Operators are standing by. Call 855-740-8143. That's 855-740-8143. Again, 855-740-8143. That's 855-740-8143.
Ukraine says it remains committed to ending violence in the nation's east, but that pro-Russia militants are not keeping their end of the deal. It's been almost 2 weeks since an agreement was made in Geneva, and the situation seems to be getting worse. In the last 36 hours, pro-Russia militants have seized several government buildings in the city of Luhansk, while in the Donetsk region, about 40 people, including journalists and 7 European military observers, are being held hostage.
Karen Springs is an American who has lived in Ukraine for nearly 10 years. She runs CBN's Orphan Promise Ministry in Kiev. She spoke with our senior international reporter, George Thomas, about what life is like living through the political turmoil.
Great to have you on the show. Is anti-Semitism real in Ukraine today?
I think that it's definitely been something that the Russian government has tried to produce as propaganda. Multiple reports that I have heard, people have said that they've never felt any anti-Semitism in recent history of Ukraine until these leaflets that were passed out in Donetsk had gone out. And then we've all heard that that was kind of just a small group of people that had done that. So I think by and large, the Jewish community has not felt.
And in fact, the chief rabbi of Kiev has come out in essence saying, listen, saying to the Russians, don't use us as a pawn for your grander agenda, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's been a media thing that Russia has tried to spin to give more reason for their involvement in Ukraine.
Talk about the political impact that this is having on your ministry. You operate Orphans Promise in Kiev. Are you seeing day-to-day operations change? Is it becoming more complex? And you also have families, in my understanding, that are in Donetsk that are trying to adopt children. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think for the most part that it's just added a tenseness. In Kiev, in other parts of Ukraine, daily life is going on as normal. People are going to work, people are going to school. But it just adds a sense of uncertainty of what's going to happen next, just constantly checking the news, checking what's going to happen. And I do have some personal friends that are in Donetsk adopting right now, and they said, for the most part, life is normal, other than seeing the roadblocks, seeing the military people. But they said at the orphanage, kids are playing, kids have no idea what's going on, and the orphanage is 15 miles from the Russian border. So it's that balance of it's like a super tense time, but yet life is continuing.
Do you, as an American, are you scared? I mean, I know you're away, you're in Kiev, the capital city, about 3 hours from the eastern border, but are you afraid?
I don't think I felt fear as much as anxiety, like a low grade of just checking the news, what's going to happen next, because we didn't see any of this coming. I mean, the last 4 months came out of what seemed to be nowhere. So life just changed in that what you thought was certain is suddenly uncertain. So I don't think I have fear, just a level of, okay, God, what's next?
And talk about you guys work at the office. There are mixed families, Russians that are married to Ukrainians. Is this tearing families apart today in Ukraine? Friction between husbands and wives, brothers and sisters, moms and dads?
Yeah, it has created division. Like you would not believe, people in our office have relatives in Russia that they can't even talk about the situation because it becomes so divisive. Russians, Christian or not, have a strong opinion by and large about what's going on in Ukraine, and they do not see eye to eye for the most part with their Ukrainian brothers and sisters. So it has become a topic where if people want to stay harmonious in their families, we don't talk about what's going on politically.
How do Christians around the world, how does the United States, how do we pray for Ukraine and the situation there?
I think for praying for unity in the church, with the orphan situation, really just praying for God's protection over the kids, that they would not become caught in this battle, that they would not be the children in the middle, and that adoptions would go forth, and that ultimately the church would be unified in Ukraine.
Okay, terrific. It's a pleasure to have you
George.
here all the way from Ukraine.
Thank you.
Karen Springs of our Orphans Promise CBN work in Ukraine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, a look at a presidential tradition that began with the man many call the father of our nation, George Washington.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Welcome back. This coming Thursday marks the 63rd annual National Day of Prayer. The theme this year, One Voice, United in Prayer. Across the country, people will mark the occasion with events, including many at local and national government buildings. In Washington, D.C., the day will be observed on Capitol Hill. And ahead of the event, the 25th annual U.S. Capitol Bible Reading Marathon began Sunday evening. The entire Bible is being read through nonstop. The reading will be complete Thursday during the Day of Prayer. Oh, I love that. Well, Wednesday marks an historic day in American history, the anniversary of the first time an American president took the oath of office.
An event honoring George Washington will bring together big names in politics and the evangelical community in a national celebration of prayer. John Jessup has more.
Since our founding in 1776, the United States has only known 44 presidents, from Barack Obama to George Washington. And arguably, few have had a more lasting impact than the country's first, a Revolutionary War hero who served as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army and a man who's revered as the father of the nation. All over the Capitol, George Washington's legacy is apparent in monuments and statues. The city's even his namesake. But for the organizer of an upcoming event honoring the country's first president, Washington was more than a founding father. He set many precedents, none more important, he says, than a public profession of faith in a divine God.
After being sworn in there at Federal Hall, he placed his hand upon an open Bible and he pledged an oath before God and the nation to uphold the Constitution.
George Washington, immediately after he took the oath of office under the Constitution, leaned down, picked up his Bible, and kissed the Bible. From there, he invited his vice president, his cabinet to follow him.
They walked down the street to St. Paul's Chapel, where they had divine services, and there in that service, America was dedicated to God.
This year marks the 225th anniversary of Washington's first inauguration, which will be commemorated by a prayer event in the U.S. Capitol. Minnesota Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann is this year's congressional host.
It's an overlooked day, but we are not going to overlook it. This is a seminal moment, and we as members of Congress are inviting the nation to come back and remember this very great man, more importantly, what he did. He dedicated our nation to the glory of God.
Now, in its third year, Washington, a man of prayer, brings together members of the House and Senate to pray for the nation and its leaders. CBN News interviewed the event's founder at Washington's historic Mount Vernon home.
And it is our hopes and desires that having this event, Washington, a Man of Prayer, on May 7th, will bring attention to the fact that not only was our nation founded upon the principles of God's Word, but it was also a moment for all men around the world, because for the last 225 years, men from all nations, all creeds, all colors have desired to come to America.
The event, emceed by former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, is only for members of Congress. But this year, the prayer will be beamed into homes and churches on the Daystar television network. It will also be available on a live webcast, inviting Americans to join with the prayers of their leaders for America to return to its Christian heritage.
700 million homes have access to their viewing, and we are just trusting God that He will allow the world to see members of the Senate, Members of the House, noted Christian leaders acknowledged George Washington as a man of faith, a man of prayer.
Now, 225 years after his first inauguration, Washington is remembered much like he was eulogized by Henry Lee. First in war, first in peace, first in the hearts of his countrymen. John Jessup, CBN News, Washington.
And once again, you can watch Washington, a Man of Prayer. It'll air next Wednesday, May 7th on the Daystar television network. And you'll also be able to see it online at cbnnews.com.
Sounds like something you definitely want to check out. Well, up next, a hospital room turned wedding chapel. We'll explain when we come back.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need, just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions, just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card, just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Till death do us part almost took on a new meaning at one Pennsylvania couple's wedding.
Yeah, listen to this. That after the groom suffered a medical emergency right before the ceremony was set to start. Robert and Mary Alice Adams were planning on a low-key, relaxed wedding, but when he started having heart problems, everything changed.
He wanted it to continue, and I explained to him that he needed to get up to the hospital to be seen.
I was all dressed up, my suit and tie, which is rare, to get married, and it didn't work out that way.
Wow, well, once it was determined Robert was in stable condition, nurses made the couple's marital dreams come true. They created a bouquet for Mary Alice and decorated the hospital room. And even though it wasn't the wedding they planned on, it was a wedding neither will soon forget. Wow, they made it through, and thank God he's alive.
How romantic.
Yeah, romantic after all.
We wish them many years of happiness.
We do.
That's all the time we have for this edition of NewsWatch.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Aw, that's